Hello and welcome back to Morrissey and Wine. My name's George.
I'm Chris.
So I am the newspaper journalist half of this equation, slightly less obsessed than Chris, who is the super fan, is how we like to put it, isn't it?
It's how you like to put it, George.
Well, yes, just to make some demarcation between us. If you haven't joined us before, welcome. This is the podcast all about Morrissey and the Smiths. It's the place to be if you're as big a fan as we are. Now, don't forget to tell a friend, subscribe or like our videos. We would really appreciate that. This whole thing works on word of mouth. Chris, what have we got coming up this episode?
So first of all, we have everything we know about Morrissey's new album. So really exciting time for us because it's the first time Morrissey's put out a studio album while we've been doing this.
Yes, that's true.
After the last 2 years of doing this, we haven't had an album yet. So we're going to deep dive into Makeup is a Lie. We've obviously had the first single and we've also heard a couple of live songs too.
Yes. We also have Nanny Val, who is my grandma. She joins us every episode to react to a Smiths or Morrissey track that she's never heard before. We don't know what that is yet until she comes into the studio, so we'll see her soon and see what she's picked.
I always love seeing your Nanny Val and Nanny Val.
Yes.
Then we have the Morrissey and Wine quiz. So 10 questions, Morrissey related, Smiths related questions. I'm quizzing you this time, so I've got my quiz ready.
Yes.
I did your technique of finding the questions. So yeah, we've got
in Mozzopedia.
Mozzopedia, yeah. Well, some of them. I wanted some more contemporary questions as well.
Saint Simon Goddard. We couldn't do this podcast without the Mozzopedia. It's absolutely vital.
What's next, George?
We also have some analysis of lyrics. So we always analyze the lyrics of a song. Because we're doing a focus on Morrissey's new album, Makeup is a Lie, we're going to analyze the lyrics of The Night Pop Dropped, which is another track as yet unreleased on the album, but it has been heard live.
Yeah. And then finally, we have a new section, which is songs we have on repeat, or a song we have on repeat, where we're going to discuss a song that we keep listening to on repeat.
Yeah, because you get these, you'll all know as Morrissey and Smiths fans, you get these earworms. You just find one song, maybe you haven't heard it in a while, and then all of a sudden you're playing it a whole week. So yes, we're going to tell you which song we've got on repeat, both Chris and George. Now, I think we'll just open this wine, shall we?
Yes, let's.
Now, it wouldn't be Morrissey and Wine without the wine. Now, I am actually doing Dry January. You'll know what that is if you're in the UK. In the US, you probably don't, I don't think Dry January exists because they don't need it, because they don't have such a massive drinking culture.
Yes, yeah.
But Dry January is a month of January in which you don't drink at all. I've got this Iceberg Pinot Grigio, which was £8, and it's alcohol free. It's a premium Pinot Grigio with the alcohol expertly removed by winemakers, clean and fresh, with aromas of green pear and citrus.
Very nice. We'll find out how that tastes quite soon.
Yes.
I've got a 19 Crimes. This was a Christmas present off my friend Sophie, actually, a friend of the podcast. It's the Frankenstein. It's the 19 Crimes Universal Monsters, and it's the Frankenstein bottle. So
yeah, I see that bottle a lot. Our Frank, yes.
Yeah, so we'll try that one, see how that one goes. And also, just before we finish, you may notice we've got a new setup.
Yes. Well, I've noticed, yeah. We have a new set. It's not, I suppose you could call it a setup. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
And we're keen to hear what people think of it, because Gary, our producer, Gary who runs redeye.co.uk, has designed this new set. I mean, I really like it.
I do. I like the fact it feels more cozy.
Yes.
It feels more cozy, which I quite like. And I think we can also, we can see each other in a different setup in a way. We're sort of looking at each other now rather than squashing together on a sofa. So let's see how it goes. But yeah, we'd like some feedback on this, on how you find it.
Yeah, so please let us know what you think of the new set. For now, let's go into everything we know about Morrissey's new album, Makeup is a Lie. Makeup is a Lie, Morrissey's forthcoming full studio album, slated for release on slated for release on March the 6th, 2026. Cheers, by the way, Chris. We've just poured our wine.
Cheers, yeah.
Cheers. So this has been a long time coming. The last time Morrissey had a record deal was just over 5 years ago when he left Capitol Records.
Yeah.
So obviously this is exciting. It's all been a little bit mangled, the whole process, towards getting this full album has all been a bit weird and stuttered and strange, as we would probably all expect of Morrissey, right?
Yeah.
So to go through the basics, Makeup Is a Lie is his 14th studio album, scheduled for release on the 6th of March. It's signed, it's with Sire Records. Sire Records is a label that comes under Warner Records.
Yeah, subsidiary, isn't it?
Yeah, because there's really only 3 major record labels in the Western world, and all the little labels fall under that, unless it's an indie.
Which are in the Eastern world.
Well, you just got to be careful when you say like there's only 3 in the world.
That's true.
You know?
That's true.
Because it's just our world.
It's like when printing was invented in Manchester, apart from when it was invented in China 200 years prior.
I've just dropped my phone. Yes, no, exactly.
We're still getting used to the new set.
Just trying to be careful with that. But anyway, so 14th studio album.
Yeah.
It's his first full album in over 5 years. As I said, the last solo record was I Am Not a Dog on a Chain in 2020.
Yeah.
And just the year before that, we had California Sun, didn't we?
Yes.
So it was recorded, this studio album was recorded in 2023 at Studio La Fabrique. Oh, let me do that properly in French. Studio La Fabrique. In Saint-Rémy de Provence.
You've been speaking French for days. I don't know what's going on. Every time I have a message, it's in French.
I told you this. My French teacher told me that I can talk the talk, but I can't walk the walk.
Yeah.
Like, French class is about talking the talk. It's nothing to do with walking.
Yeah.
So actually, I was doing quite.
How do you walk French?
And also, this album has been produced by Joe Ciccarelli. Now we've got Joe Ciccarelli has worked with Morrissey before.
Okay.
I think he did Earth is the Loneliest Planet, which had quite a unique sound.
He did, yeah.
I couldn't understand why people laughed, that rare kind of unreleased record. And we've had a taste of what Joe Ciccarelli's production sounds like, because we've obviously heard Makeup Is a Lie.
Yeah.
So it was kind of experimental and different, wasn't it, the sound?
Yeah, it was quite different. Although it's funny with Morrissey songs, when you have listened to them as many times as many of us now would have listened to Makeup Is a Lie, it sort of becomes like almost one of the songs. It's weird. When you first hear it, it's like you have to get used to it. But then suddenly it's just always been there.
Yes.
And that's how I feel already about this song.
Why don't you run us through the tracks? Because we know the track listing.
Yeah, so obviously there's I suppose we'll run through the list of songs, and there's interesting names as well there. There's a couple of songs, well, there's 3 songs that we've now heard. So obviously we've heard Makeup Is a Lie, which the studio albums come out, studio recordings come out, been released. We also have heard Notre Dame, which has been played for a few years now live, and The Night Pop Dropped, which we're going to talk about a little bit later.
Yes.
So the other songs in the album then, if I go through some of the other ones, so the first song is You're Right, It's Time.
Yeah.
So was at one point, I think, going to be the title of an album.
Right, let me just explain this, sorry. So what's happened is we currently have 2.5 albums by Morrissey that are yet to be released, because
it's all very complicated.
Do you know that meme of the woman that looks like Julia Roberts with all the maths going on around her?
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing right now. So so we were going to have Bonfire of Teenagers.
Yeah.
That's a full album. That's kind of been untouched. It's there. It exists. Morrissey's got the rights to it.
And there's so many really good songs, and some of them I hoped would come onto this album that's just come out. So many good songs that we heard live, like in 2022, 2021, that it's just such a shame they're not coming out. But carry on.
Yeah, no, you're right. Now, then we had, after that, we heard that Morrissey was doing a second as yet unreleased album called You're Right, It's Time. Now, this, let me just check. It was going to be called You're Right, It's Time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And it was alternatively going to be called Without Music, the World Dies.
Yeah.
Right. So this second album had 2 titles. And I know this is getting confusing. I'm confused.
So, yeah.
So you've got first album, Bonfire as a Teenager. Second album has 2 titles. Now we've got this third album coming out, which is Makeup Is a Lie. But Makeup Is a Lie uses around half the tracks from that second album. Which is why I say we've got 2.5 albums as yet unreleased.
Yeah.
So now Morrissey can easily make use of these flabby extra tracks by using them as bonus tracks or on deluxe editions. So I'm sure we're going to hear everything. That's what's happening. I'm sorry to have interrupted. Please carry on about the track
because
listing.
thank you for clearing that up, I think, because it is quite complicated. So yeah, the first song, then you're right, it's time. Then we have the second song, which is Makeup is a Lie, and that's the one we've now had as the first single released, which we obviously spoke about in a special bonus episode recently as well.
Yeah.
The third song is the other song that has been played live, which is Notre Dame. Obviously about the fire in Notre Dame.
I know who tried to kill you.
A cold hand just touched me. Which was, I really enjoyed live. I think it's a really interesting song. Morrissey really seemed to enjoy playing that song. Obviously, we have spoken about before, I think, some of the meaning of that song. But there's quite a funny video that comes with it where there's sort of just people just stood there in the background on the stage, on the screen.
Right.
Quite strange.
And now, just to say, this Notre Dame song is somewhat controversial because it suggests that terrorism was to blame for the fire at the Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Which would appear to be Morrissey's theory, although it's widely disputed.
Do you know what the reason was? Is there a reason that was given by Macron or somebody?
What, a reason for the actual? Yes, the fire was officially
dodgy plug socket or something.
The fire was officially believed to be either a cigarette or something else. But then someone in our group chat said, "I work in this sector and people don't smoke in these buildings." So, but then again, it's France.
It's France. It's France. Yeah.
Anyway,
the fourth song is Amazonia. Is that how you say it? Amazonia?
No, it's Amazona.
Amazona. So Amazona.
Which is a Roxy Music cover.
Yeah, which is a Roxy Music cover, which ruins one question in my quiz later.
Oh, right, okay.
Just pretend you don't know that.
Yeah.
Number 5 is Headache. I like the sound of Headache. It makes me think of, because I think we said before, but the music is a lie. Makeup is a lie. Is kind of sounds a bit punk to me. And Headaches sounds a bit punk, and obviously Morrissey's background, his music background, comes from that era, that world. And Headache sort of reminds me of his one of his first bands, The Nosebleeds. It's kind of, there's something there. Yeah. I mean, obviously we don't know what the song sounds like, or at least I don't. We've not heard it yet, but I wonder what that's going to be. Then we've got Boulevard, number 6. Then we've got Zoom Zoom, the Little Boy. Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, sounds like David Walliams' children's book.
Yeah, or a bit. Also, maybe a little bit David Bowie. Maybe Zoom Zoom. It's kind of space.
Zoom Zoom, the little boy.
Yeah, I think there's more to it than that, than being Bowie. Then number 8 is obviously the third song that we've already heard, which is a really great song, and I think it's a song that The Night Pop Dropped, which I think is a song that a lot of fans probably would hope would have been the first single released.
Yes.
And I know some people definitely said to me, I mean, I really enjoyed Makeup is a Lie, but I think that a lot of people have thought that there's maybe more sellability or more sort of wider spread appeal to The Night Pop Dropped as a first single for a new album coming out after so long.
Yes.
But then, as we always discuss, Morrissey doesn't do things in that normal way.
No.
I can't even. What's the next one?
Ka-ching, ka-ching.
Ka-ching, ka-ching. Okay. Ka-chinga? What's that?
I want to talk to you.
Yes.
The last time we talked, Mr. Smith, you reduced me to tears.
I promise you, it won't happen again. The other podcast is on Mika.
Yeah. Mika and vodka.
Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier. If we could, I was going to do a joke about that, like The Cure and gin and tonic or something. Yeah. We can branch out.
Yeah.
So yeah, ka-ching, ka-ching. Is that sort of a bit of a, because actually, interestingly enough, Morrissey has sang Paint a Vulgar Picture recently.
Yes.
And there's sort of connotations of that maybe, because ka-ching would make me think sort of money and, or something around like the cash register weighs so heavy on my back.
Yes. Well, Morrissey is increasingly referencing money in his music and his lyrics. It's on his mind more. And obviously he's recently said he wants to sell his business interests in the Smiths. He feels that, because we obviously have Sure Enough the Telephone Rings, where the refrain goes, "Who wants my money now?"
Yes, that's true.
I'm getting the impression, obviously I don't know Morrissey, but I'm getting the impression that he's feeling like everyone's always calling me for money and everyone's coming after me and all they want is my money,
Yeah. The Northern Leeches. It's been on there for a while, hasn't it? The sort of money thing. I imagine Morrissey's quite careful with money in some ways, like maybe.
Number 10, track number 10.
Track number 10 is Lester Bangs.
I don't know who Lester is, and I don't know what he's banging.
Yeah, because it's weird. Because we obviously wouldn't spell Leicester like that. As in, is that how you spell the name?
No,
Leicester?
that's how Lester is how you spell the name Leicester.
Leicester Bangs.
You're thinking of the place called Leicester in the UK.
So yeah, Leicester Bangs. That one is an interesting one. Yeah, I really don't know.
No idea what that's about.
No idea. This is why it's quite exciting, because the songs in this album, it feels like the names are quite obscure compared to. It feels like quite obscure compared to usual. So that's interesting.
Track number 11.
Track number 11, the Many Icebergs Ago.
Yeah.
Interesting. And then the final track 12, The Monsters of Pig Alley.
It's going to be about the police, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
I think it'd be about the police. Yeah. I think it'll be like Gang Lord. It'll be something like that. Obviously, it could be completely wrong, but...
Yeah.
I mean, Morrissey is probably not vulgar enough to call police pigs, but I do wonder if there's something going on there about the police and an alley and the monsters of the alley and fighting crime in alleys. I don't know.
Yeah. So what do you think about that, George?
Well, I think that it sounds like a very eclectic album. Sounds like there's a lot of different themes that Morris is going to be singing about and he's writing lyrics about. I think it's good that we've got this "You're Right, It's Time" song, because presumably that was going to be the lead song on the unreleased album.
Yeah.
He obviously feels it's so good that he wants to put it on this new one as the first track.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to hearing that. I think the Night Pop Dropped is going to be fantastic to hear as a studio recording.
Definitely, yeah.
Because it's just got a certain magic about it. And when I've sent it to family and friends who aren't really that into Morrissey, they're like, yeah, that's a good track. Now, the contributing musicians for this album would comprise Jesse Tobias, Camilla Gray, Carmen Vanderberg, Alan White. Alan White's not in the band, but he was in the band recently and was writing with Morris recently. Juan Galliano, like that. Juan. Gustavo Manzor and Brendan Buckley, Brendan the drummer. So the first single that's come out that we've heard, Makeup Is a Lie, that was a Camilla Gray track.
Yeah.
And so that's been really nice to have her moment in the sun.
Definitely, yeah.
And as always, we do know that it's going to come out in many different physical forms, this album. Slip them into different sleeves, buy both and feel deceived.
Because obviously he's done the song recently and there was a bit of a smirk.
He had like an ironic grin.
Yeah, which was quite nice because he's doing it.
Yeah.
All on the game.
Now, the road to get to this point, to get to this March 6th release date, which by the way, Morrissey hasn't actually announced a release date, but there's lots of indications you can find online that suggest March the 6th. To get here has been a very long road. And really, most fans would rather, I don't know if you agree, Chris, but would rather that Bonfire of Teenagers came out first. Because this is the album that's got all the heat, and it's the one that's attracted the most attention. And we really want to hear that studio recording of Bonfire of Teenagers, the lead song. But it seems like Sire Records have said, not sure about Bonfire straight away. Let's ease ourselves in. Do you have another album that we could put out first?
Yeah.
And that turns out to be Makeup Is a Lie. So ultimately, we just want to say like, this is a great time to be a Morrissey fan.
Yeah.
You know, finally, we've waited so long for this record deal. I don't even think it's the longest wait. I think around the 2000s, late 90s and early 2000s, I think the wait was longer.
Big wait there, wasn't there?
The wilderness years.
But I think this maybe because we weren't there then, or But it does feel like it felt like it was almost like could it not happen? I always felt like it would, but it was quite scary that maybe it wouldn't happen. So it's really exciting. But it's interesting you say that Bonfire may have been a bit too much, whereas maybe Notre Dame was okay, not quite as bad. But I mean, it's a real shame that if that doesn't come out, and it'd be nice if even if it can't come out via a record label, it could come out somehow, because it feels wrong. It feels like we've missed something, doesn't it? That's what I feel anyway. I feel like I've lost that bit, especially when so many songs like Oblivion and Sure Enough, The Telephone Rings aren't being released, even though he keeps playing those up until recently.
But it makes sense in a commercial way to have a new album come out of songs that nobody's heard, because then you buy or stream the album to hear the songs. Whereas if you've already heard like Sure Enough, The Telephone Rings and Oblivion, you'd be less like bothered about hearing the album.
I suppose I'm excited by these songs and these titles because God knows what they mean, some of them. So
So like I say, March 6th release date, that's what we're really hoping. And when I say there's things online, it's because there's like music databases and stuff that have to be updated. And so that's what we're looking at. That's what we're hoping. I think that we'll probably see another single, at least one more single release from the album before it comes out. We're recording this in mid-January, aren't we? So by the time this goes out, there may have been a new single that we haven't seen yet. But this is everything we know about the album so far.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, the cover, we know about the album cover because it was used to promote the single of the same name, which is that picture taken of Morrissey in Ostuni, I think, which I think is Italy.
Yeah, it's sort of by the side of the tour van. It's sort of after the show, isn't it? Or before the show. Quite interesting image. It's growing on me now.
Yeah,
it's growing on me now. At first, like I said before, it looked like he was trying to catch an M&M with his mouth open. But I actually think that I quite like it now. Got used to it more. What do you think about it?
Well, obviously we've discussed this in our bonus episode, which if you haven't heard, you can listen back to. But we discussed this in our bonus episode. I don't really think it's the best choice of album cover. I think when you think back to those times in the Smiths and the early solo years with Joe Slee's hand in the artwork, they were really just top trumps, I don't know what I'm saying.
Top mods.
Top quality, stuff. And now it all feels a little bit in-house and done in a shed. And do you know what I mean? Like, but I'm not just to be clear, the picture, I'm not having any go at the person who took the picture, who's Dave sorry, I should have written down his name. I'm sorry, David, but I have no problem with the picture.
Yeah.
I just think it may not be the best choice for the album cover.
Yeah, I mean, I like the fact that Morrissey looks sort of happy, and it's sort of quite a fun image, which is nice, but it isn't what we're used to.
Yeah,
but then because you mentioned some of the early Morrissey albums where Morrissey does look, he's got the silhouette. They're really cool. You've got some on your wall. I've got some on my wall. Most Morrissey fans have pictures that those records framed. But even recently, the I'm Not a Dog on a Chain, because we have the cassette here.
Yeah.
Even that one, I mean, that's really, I like that a lot. That's a really, really good cover. So I think that's probably how we feel about that. If we're going to have any negative.
Yeah. I had a dream, and I know no one wants to hear other people's dreams.
I think the most boring thing anyone can ever say is, I had a dream, let me tell you about it. It's like,
what? So you think Martin Luther King's speech was boring? This sick bastard.
That wasn't a dream, was it? He didn't really dream that. That was more of a euphemism.
Yes. No. I just had this dream where I saw this album cover of Morrissey's, and he was in a cafe, like an Italian cafe, and he had a newspaper and a coffee and like a cigarette in an ashtray, and he was just looking into the camera. That's what I want. I've seen it, like Eddie's seen in a dream The Perfect Kitchen in AbFab. Like I've seen this album cover. Now that's what I want.
That's what you want. You have to have it. How are you going to get it?
I don't know. I think we need to like work our way into Morrissey's circle, like a really long game, like over several years, with the only goal is to make this album cover happen. Yeah. Forget about getting him on the podcast. I'm over that now. I just want this.
Just
album.
Want that thing, one thing.
I'm not really over that. I really want that.
You are not over that. No, that's important. Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe we can plant the seed with certain people. I mean, like for example, there's so many great pictures that Ryan Lowry's taken of Morrissey on stage at the recent shows. One of those could have been maybe used, or maybe he can make it happen. Yeah, he can make your dream reality.
So yes, exciting times. That's everything we know about this new album. Next, we're going to go into the quiz, and you're quizzing me, right?
Yes, I've got 10 questions for you, George. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, cheers, Chris.
Cheers, George.
Cheers to you at home, whether you're doing dry January or not. Let's go into the quiz.
Let's. So now we're going to go into the quiz. So 10 questions I'm going to ask George, Morrissey and Smith's related quiz. But first, can we talk about the wine for a second? Is that okay? So I've got the notes for yours. Do you want to have a little taste and see what you think of that?
So, now, obviously this is non-alcoholic wine. And I know particularly Sophie will be disappointed by that, one of our friends and listeners, Sophie. But so what I would say about non-alcoholic wine is unless you really get some really expensive special shit, then all of it kind of tastes like fruit juice.
Which is good. I mean, like, why I prefer fruit juice to alcohol. I love fruit juice.
Well, I do, doing dry January, one of the things I have enjoyed is having like non-alcoholic gin and tonic, for example, because that tastes exactly the same. And you just need to trick your brain into drinking that you're drinking alcohol, which you can't really do with this. But let me just have a sip.
Yeah, have a sip, and then give me some notes that you might have in that one. I'll just be while you're tasting it, George. I'll just say this wine, German wine.
Yeah,
it says that they're global pioneers. They're global pioneers in sparkling and alcohol-free wines.
Yeah.
Blending tradition and cutting-edge technology. Sounds good. Doesn't say it's a good one, is it?
Yeah, they clearly like their cliches.
So, so can you give me some sort of can you like sort of get anything from that? What would you say you've got in there?
I'm really struggling to pick up
anything at all.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say it's like appley. It's almost like apple juice, and I suppose that would suggest kind of maybe British fruits. It looks like white wine.
Look, we've already said it's German, so.
Oh, I guess Germans can grow apples as well. What do I know about fruit or wine? Nothing. I am struggling, to be honest, Chris, to say many good things about it, but I will say that it looks like wine, and if I'm in a pinch, it'll probably just about do. No offense to Iceberg, I'm sure you do a great job, but it's not massively impressing me.
Not massively impressive. I mean, there's stuff here, so it says enticing notes of citrus. Did you get that?
Yeah, I said citrus apples, didn't I?
Apples aren't a citrus fruit.
I did say that. Just tricky.
Zesty finish. Yeah, I think pretty much you didn't like that. That's not special, is it, George?
I'm not that into it.
Okay. Well,
why don't you try yours?
I'll try mine. So I'll just show again.
The bottle.
So I've got the 19 Crimes, the R. Frank bottle.
Yeah.
So I'll have a taste of that now.
Okay. So, 19 Crimes red wine. Tell me what kind of notes that you taste.
It's quite nice. Do people look down on 19 Crimes? I feel like they do.
Well, it's complicated if you can be bothered to think about it. Some people really love it and go crazy for it. And then some people, in the way that people used to be snobby about Merlot, it's like Coldplay. It's just a thing for people to be snobby about,
But where's it from? Do you
Australian.
It's Australian. Oh, because of 19 Crimes, because the criminals went to Australia. I guess that's why they did.
Probably.
So I'm getting quite a rich flavour. It's not as sweet as maybe I normally like with red wine. I quite like a sweet red wine. No, we once had our producer Gary suggested quite a nice red wine I had recently. It was quite sweet.
Yeah.
I'm sort of getting definitely cherry. Definitely some cherry.
Yeah, it says cherries in here. Yeah.
Yeah, just got a rich dark fruit sort of cherry and
yeah. No, you've got
chocolatey
it.
flavor.
Ripe aromas of dark berries, cherries, and plums, layered with sweet vanilla, mocha, and a touch of spice from oak aging.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Well, lovely.
No, cheers.
Cheers, George.
Cheers.
And then we'll get on to the quiz.
Let's do the quiz.
Yeah.
10 questions. I think I need to do the quiz theme music.
Oh, I was trying to smooth past that bit.
You ready?
Go on then.
This is your chance. Grasp the nettle and prove your mettle, Chris. There are people out there who know nothing of this trivia. You've waited all your life. It's quite sad if you stop and think.
Yes, it is.
Never mind that. It's the Morrissey quiz. 10 out of 10?
Well, we'll see, shall we, on the quiz. When you say they know nothing of this, there's people out there, they know nothing of this. I always think you're going to say derriere. Okay. So 10 questions, George. Are you ready?
Yes.
This is big because it's the new set. It's the new year. This is new. So
I need to set a new standard.
Lock in.
Yeah.
As the gym influencers say. Yeah.
Which German influencers say that?
Gym influencers.
Oh, right. I thought you said German influencers.
There aren't any of those. So the first question, number 1, how many songs are there on the Morrissey new upcoming album, Music, Makeup is a Lie, sorry.
How many tracks are on the new album?
Yes, that's what I meant.
Well, we've only just discussed it.
I know. The thing is, a lot of these questions, no, not all of them though.
I actually don't know. I can't remember.
Well,
I'm going to say 14.
14. We'll see, shall we? Have to reach forward.
Yeah, the mixing desk is under the table now. That's wrong.
Oh, I'm sorry, George. You got it wrong.
Yeah, it's not easy, is it?
It's not easy, is it? So that was 12. It's 12.
Oh, I was only 2 off.
Yeah, so
That's all right.
close, but we have already talked about it and we went through them all.
Yeah.
And I said 1 to 12. Anyway, question number 2. Which band's song does Morrissey cover in On Makeup Is a Lie?
Roxy Music next.
And what was the song?
Amazona. I'm only answering quickly because we've literally just discussed it. Yes.
Okay,
thank
we
you.
did just discuss the one before that.
Yeah, but a number. How am I going to remember number? My brain doesn't work.
Yeah, you weren't
numbers.
very good at history, were you? Oh, okay, this one's a bit more challenging, but it is something we spoke about very recently and we posted it on our Instagram and stuff.
Okay.
So let's go for the question. So, sorry, it's been a bit weird. Complete the line from Robert Williams' new album, Britpop, the song, Morrissey. Complete the line. So it's, I'm lost, I'm lonely, I'm hurt, and it's about Morrissey.
So yeah, this is, you slightly fluffed that question, but this is the new song from Robbie Williams' album Britpop called Morrissey.
Yes.
So say it for me again, the lyrics.
So describe this. So this is describing Morrissey. So I'm lost, I'm lonely, I'm hurt, I'm
lost, I'm lonely, I'm hurt, I'm afraid.
Oh, maybe. We'll find out.
Oh, what is it?
So it's I'm abused. So quite close because it starts with an A. So well done. It starts with an A.
I really like this new Robbie Williams song, by the way. If you haven't heard it yet, guys at home, give it a try. It's really catchy.
Yeah. I like the way that he. I'm not really got into the song itself yet, but I like that he speaks about how Morrissey's talking to him. And it's quite nice to hear that somebody else speak about their relationship. And, you know, he's one of the lines is, he's talking to me.
Yeah.
And that's how obviously we often feel.
Yeah.
So question number 4. What year was Morrissey's previous full-length studio album released? So the most recent album up till now, what year was it released?
Oh, I think that was I'm Not a Dog in a Chain, which was 2020.
Okay.
Oh, thank God I got one right.
Well done. Yeah,
Thank
you got
you.
that one right. So question 4 was correct. So question number 5.
Yeah.
What unreleased Morrissey album recorded in 2020 to 21 was due to feature Iggy Pop and Chad Smith?
Oh, unreleased Morrissey album, Iggy Pop and whoever the other person was. Well, I guess this has got to be Bonfire of Teenagers.
Okay.
We also would have had Miley Cyrus on it, I guess. Yes, okay.
Well done. You're doing quite well, George.
Correctamundo.
Considering we spoke about most of the questions in the previous section. And then this one as well. Case in point. What is the release date for Makeup Is a Lie? Think about it.
Yeah, let me just think. I'm not sure if I've said it already like 10 times in this episode. Well, to give you some, maybe I'll get some brownie points.
Had it
for this.
out.
Yeah. It was originally set for February the 27th, 2026. Can you imagine? I was just thinking then, if like Morrissey is like studied in the universities in like 100 years time, will the lecturers say, listen to these podcasts from 100 years ago because they will help you come to understand the context of Morrissey at the time. And so when I said February the 27th, 2026, then I was thinking, I wonder, maybe someone will listen to this in a long time in the future. And that'll seem like a long time in the past, you know? But anyway,
Yeah.
sorry about that little diversion. The answer is March the 6th, 2026.
Well, the 6th of March, 2026.
Yeah. There we go. Very good. On
Correct. Yes, it was. Yes. Okay. Question number 7. This one's not related to the new album, which is lovely.
Okay.
So between which year did Morrissey call Rome home?
Home.
Rome call home. Home. E.T. phone home comb Rome.
E.T. on home.
Phone Rome.
Turn around.
So think about it.
You ever been to a phone party in Rome?
Sorry?
Been to a phone party in Rome?
Have you?
At your home?
You haven't.
No.
Have you ever been to Jordan, have you ever been to a phone party?
I have once been to a phone party.
Where was that?
At University of Freshers Week.
Oh, nice.
It was
How
horrible.
was it?
And it was horrible, Chris.
Is it?
I almost thought I'll just go home Just knock this university thing on the head if this is what it's all about.
You'd rather have home than foam.
At my university, the universities often have like a drink that all the students love. And at my university, it was snake bite. But there's different kinds of snake bite. But this is the one where you have cider with blackcurrant squash in it. And
I think that is snake bite.
No, but there's other kinds of snake bite. Some snake bite is half lager, half cider, I think. Like there's all different variations. Okay. That's what this one was. And you would say you walk through campus on like a Saturday morning, there'll be pink sick everywhere because people have been drinking this pink snake bite and chucking it up again.
Or they'd been to the dentist.
Yeah.
Because that pink drink in the dentist.
Yeah, the ultra modern spittoon.
Okay, that's
so. Lovely. Anyway, the answer, Rome.
So between which years? I will accept a year within the range, but the range is quite narrow.
Well, Morrissey released Ringleader of the Tormentors in 2006, I believe.
Okay.
Sorry if I got that wrong. And that was obviously recorded in Rome.
Yep.
So I would say between 2004 and 2006, Morrissey would have moved to Rome, because he released You Are the Quarry in 2004. So I'm going to say 2005 as a year in the range.
Okay.
Yes. Perfect.
Very impressive. Perfetto. Very impressive. And I appreciated the workings out. Yeah.
Grazie mille. Okay.
Question number 8. You're doing quite well this time for a change, which is unusual for you, isn't it? But yes. You turned your head on today. Question number 8. The Loop was the B-side to which single?
Oh, that's how it starts, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Loop is the B-side to which single? Well, The Loop is from Morrissey's kind of rockabilly era, which was in the 90s, early to mid 90s, because after that he moved on to like the London Maladjusted era.
Yeah.
So what song was it? The Loop? I think The Loop was probably a B-side to something like My Love Life. So that's what I'm going to suggest. Oh, so I'm going to choose.
You have to lock in an answer.
Yeah, I'm going to lightly suggest that it's My Love Life.
Okay.
Is that wrong or right?
Question number 8.
I said it's not wrong. It just might be right. Oh, wrong. Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, you got that one wrong.
Was it a Rockabilly track though?
Yeah, it was. Do you want a second stab?
No.
Do you want a second bite of the cherry?
I've already lost interest.
Okay. It was Sing Your Life.
Oh,
the sort of Sing Your Life.
Yeah.
Great song. Yeah. I think you were, you got it wrong.
Yeah.
Question number 9.
Yeah.
How many minutes did it take Morrissey to sell out the two shows at the Hollywood Bowl in 1992?
Oh, well, I think that he broke the record set by Madonna. Or the Beatles.
So I'll repeat the question. So how many minutes did it take Morrissey to sell out 2 nights at the Hollywood Bowl in 1992?
Was he flogging these tickets himself out the back of a car?
Yeah, I think he had like a suitcase of tickets. Yeah. Were you born? Were you alive in 1992?
No, I was born in 93.
Okay.
Right. I'm going to suggest. I don't know how they sold these tickets so fast before the internet, but anyway, I'm going to suggest that he sold out all the tickets within half an hour.
Well, we'll get to that in a second, but just on what you were saying there, the internet didn't exist in 1992. So how would you buy a ticket?
Well, I think you either called up the hotline or you queued at the venue. That's to the best of my knowledge. Really?
What if you were like in a different country and you wanted a ticket? How would they get one?
You're screwed then, aren't you? I don't know. The mysteries of the pre-internet world. I tell you what, everyone, if you're listening at home, tell us, how did tickets sell out so fast before the internet? Because we don't understand.
Yeah. Okay, that's really interesting. I'm really interested in what happened there. I'm not trying to make anyone seem old, but I don't understand that.
So anyway, my answer was half an hour.
Half an hour. Okay. So 30 minutes. Yeah.
Correct, Chris. Well done. That's wrong. What was it? It was like 2 minutes.
To be fair, I think that was a reasonable guess, as it was 23 minutes.
Okay.
But I can't give you a correct answer for that one.
Okay.
Okay, so you're doing quite well this time. Last question number 10.
Yeah.
Morrissey's known for his love of tea.
Okay. I'm learning something new every day.
Spill the tea.
Yeah.
And champagne and beer.
Yeah.
So Morrissey's known for his love of tea. How many pots does he claim to drink a day?
Pots,
not cups. Pots.
Jeez.
And who uses pot now anyway? When I go to my grandma, she still has a pot.
Yeah.
It's quite nice.
I don't know where my teapot is. I moved into my new house last November. There's still boxes in the cellar that I haven't unpacked. It's in there somewhere. Also, somewhere in there is my first pressing of Hand in Glove. I don't know where the hell it is, but it's somewhere in my house.
Yeah, hopefully none of your friends who like Morrissey have stolen it from you at some point.
Okay, so how many pots of tea? Well, Morrissey is an eccentric, and he would have come up with quite a wildly high number, because that's just it, because it's funny. Whether it's true or not, I don't know.
Do you not think he was telling the truth then when he gave the answer in the interview?
Well, no, because if he said, it's so interesting, I drink 1 pot of tea a day, why would you say that? It's going to be a high number.
Because pots can be different sizes, can't they?
Well, usually got that sort of heft, haven't they? I'm going to say 10 pots of tea a day.
So Morrissey drinks 10 pots of tea a day.
Yeah, that's what I think.
And he doesn't drown.
Okay, what was it?
It was 4 pots of tea a day, which I think is doable.
Yeah, if you have a break of a few hours in between.
When you're working from home, you can drink a lot of tea.
Yeah, you could just pour the teapot spout directly into your mouth, couldn't you?
You need to whiten your teeth, wouldn't you, drinking that much tea? So well done, George. I think you did quite well there. I wonder how you did at home. Hopefully you got some questions right there. We tried to mix in some questions around the new album, but also some older stuff as well. So
yes. Well done. You actually did a proper quiz, and you used my method of searching Wikipedia. Now, next we have Nanny Val.
We do.
So as always, Nanny Val our Patreon members have suggested songs for Nanny Val to listen to, and she has gone through all of them, and she has chosen the one that she wants to talk about. We don't know what it is yet until she comes in. No. So shall we say cheers, Chris?
Let's, cheers.
Cheers. And let's say hello to Nanny Val. Welcome back to the studio, Nanny Val.
Thank you, darling.
How are you doing?
Not so bad. I'm okay.
Good. Chris, shall we get some wine?
Yeah, nice to have you back in the studio.
Thank you, my love. Is it too late to wish you a Happy New Year?
Is it too late? I think the cut-off. What's the cut-off?
Well, Larry David would say the cut-off is after New Year's Day, I think. But no, that's fine.
Thank you.
That's what wine is that, Chris? That's the...
Yeah, this is the 19 Crimes Universal Monsters Frankenstein wine. So you're gonna try some of mine, yeah.
So what song have you chosen from the Patreon members this month, Nan?
I've chosen Seasick, Yet Still Docked.
Okay, and that was chosen by George Bray, I believe. Okay. So Seasick, Yet Still Docked, which is from Your Arsenal, 1992. Quite a long track. I think it runs to about 5 minutes. What was your first impression of the track?
Well, I looked up, as I always do, done my bit of research, and I saw it was Morrissey and Alan White.
Yeah.
And as it happened, when I went on YouTube, one of the first things that came up was Alan White himself singing and playing this particular song. And he spoke about it, and he said that when Morrissey first said, because it's sort of quite repetitive guitar rolling
guitar, yeah.
And he said, he didn't think it would be a good idea of it going round and round. He said, but he thought it would be very laborious. He said, but when he heard the lyrics that Morrissey came up with, they were really glorious. So then he goes on and he sings it. And afterwards, when I listened to Morrissey's version, although Alan White had a very nice voice, you realise the difference when Morrissey sings something and all the emotion he brings to it. It was a completely different song,
Yes.
It's so different.
So what did you think of it, like, sort of, as you first, when you did hear Morrissey's vocal, what kind of impression did it give you the first time listening to it?
He sounds very low and longing for love and this sort of thing. I imagined him looking out of a window towards the sea, and instead of feeling seasick, he was lovesick. He was very, it's that sort of melancholy, lovely voice on it, very languid, lovely voice, I thought, in this particular song. I really liked it.
It's a song in which Morrissey is really feeling sorry for himself, isn't he?
Yeah.
Because this is the track where he says, no one has ever given me anything.
Yeah.
I mean, that's quite, this song is full of very extreme statements about himself, isn't it?
Yes.
Did you feel that Morrissey was did you sort of think, oh, come off it, Morrissey, it's not that bad? Or did you feel convinced by the power of his delivery?
Well, I started by wondering, because I think he's always inspired by something. And I found that this one, he was inspired by Joni Mitchell, who obviously adores, thinks she's what was his word? The greatest lyricist who ever lived. And so apparently it was based on apparently it was. It seems that he was inspired by, she had an album called the song is called The Silky Veils of Ardor. I'm not quite sure what the album was called. I did have it listed, but I've forgotten.
That doesn't matter.
But the first two lines of her song says, I am a poor wayfaring stranger, travelling through all the highs and lows. And his is, I am a poor, freezingly cold soul, so far from where I intended to go. Like,
it's almost a mirror image line, isn't it?
It inspired him to write this particular song, I would imagine, you know.
Yeah.
And I also saw him later in 1996 interviewing her, a one-to-one chat, like, which was really interesting. He obviously, you know, thinks she's it, you know.
Yeah.
Pinnacle of everything.
This song to me is like a very much a very Morrissey song, as in I think people who, you know, maybe sometimes want to cliche Morrissey would think this is, you know, the way he sings in the song, it's very melancholic and the lines are very much, you know, it's quite downbeat and feeling sorry for yourself. I think the hopelessness and things and longing, I think it's very Morrissey. So did you get that? I can imagine this is the one people would pin to Morrissey and say, oh, that's what all Morrissey songs are like.
Yes, yeah. Well, in the earlier days, I wouldn't say it was like it now, but certainly in that era, 1992.
Yes. And I'm just wondering if, because usually when Morrissey is singing a depressing song, he will inject a little bit of humour.
Yes.
And I was thinking like maybe there's a little bit of humour in when he says, I wish I knew the way, I wish I had the charm to attract the one I love, but you see I've got no charm. Is that about as close to a joke as we're going to get in this song? Or is it not a joke at all?
For me, it's not. At that particular moment in time, I think he was very lovesick and yearning for a different life and, you know, yearning for someone in his life. Because he says at the end, it's quite cutting, isn't it? My love is as sharp as a needle in your eye. You must be such a fool to pass me by. Yeah. So there was probably someone he had his eye on, someone he would have liked in his life that was ignoring him, you know, I would imagine.
And that line to me is, there's a bit of humour in that line, isn't there? Because it's like they kind of contradict themselves. It's like, you know, it's painful. Why would you pass me by? I quite like that. That's definitely got some humour in that line, or a bit of sort of self-deprecating humour.
But you do wonder, like, you know, Morrissey at this point in 1982 has had a very successful start to his solo career. He's had massive success with the Smiths, and yet he still says, "I'm so far from where I intended to go." And so is he perhaps not talking about his material successes, but more about his love life?
He probably neglected his love life up to that point, maybe, and thought, you know, at this age, because I mean, he's got such a big family with, you know, nephews and nieces and everything, which he loved, and he probably thought, I've lost out on that side of my life. You know, I haven't got a family, and you know, it's everything. But hard. But was your inspiration for your love of Joni Mitchell taken directly from Morrissey? Is that how you?
I don't think so. The first time I heard of Joni Mitchell was on Love Actually, when Helen, what's her name, the woman who's cheated on by her husband.
I don't know the film that well.
Oh, anyway, she's a very famous actress, and she gets given a CD of Joni Mitchell as a Christmas present. That's when I first heard about
Helen Mirren.
Helen Mirren. No, I don't think it's...
No.
It's Emma Thompson.
They are kind of the same person in my mind.
Dementia waiting room over here. We can't remember anything.
You even named Joni the cat after Joni Mitchell.
I did.
Oh, I thought maybe a lot of your inspirations, like Oscar Wilde and different ones, come because you know Morrissey.
A lot of them do, yes. Yeah. So in this song, he also says, "And all of my life, no one gave me anything." Now, I suppose we can't take that literally, because it can't possibly be true, but what does that line mean to you, Nan? Like, is he being literal or what?
Well, I think when you're down and feeling sorry for yourself, you dwell on those aspects of your life. And I suppose he didn't have very much given to him in material terms, because they weren't a rich family, were they? They were a very poor family. Anything he'd achieved by this point in his life, he'd achieved. No one had done it for him. He had no introductions. He had no golden handshakes, nothing at all. So it was all done for himself, I suppose.
Yes. And at this point in 1992, he's saying, I've never really loved. And And I suppose we're not having read autobiography and stuff, we're not really aware of any major relationships he would have had by this point. Although, at what point did he was he in the relationship with Jake Walters? That was in the 90s, but possibly a little bit later.
Maybe later.
Yeah, because he talks about that relationship in Southpaw Grammar, doesn't he? Which came out a few years later. So yeah, he's saying he's never really loved. But isn't it interesting that despite that, he can still write so profoundly about love?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, he can put everything into words, and he's so good at putting feelings into words that you think can't be put into words. You know, he always managed to find a way in.
Yes,
sort of really sort of stimulates your brain. You think, oh God, that's so clever. He's.
And is this the kind of song that you would play again? Like,
I thought it was lovely. I loved his voice on it. Yeah, I really did.
Because you've often said that you sort of prefer the later Morrissey voice to the Smiths voice.
Yeah,
this is somewhere in between, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
It's. I mean, I personally don't go back to this song very much. I suppose I don't get really depressed like I used to these days, and maybe I would listen to it more if I was in that mood.
Yes,
because it's always powerful to hear someone say back to you the feelings, articulate the feelings that you had back to you, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
And in this song as well, some of the lyrics, some of the lines in there remind me of that Robbie Williams has just brought out a song called Morrissey. I don't know if you saw that. And
I've not heard it properly,
there's a few words in there, the way he describes Morrissey kind of mirrors up to this. It's kind of what I imagine he'd probably getting at with some of that. So how would you score this song compared to the other one?
Then our spreadsheet, have we?
No, we need to do that. That's a good point, actually. It's the homework for next time.
Can I just say, can we stop mentioning the spreadsheet? Because every month we say, we better do that. It's probably been going on for a year now. Let's just stop mentioning
I even attempted to myself. I haven't got very far.
Yeah, but I suppose just on like, on the normal things we go across, so sort of
music, lyrics and voice.
Music, lyrics and voice,
with the music, although I liked it, it was quite repetitive. It wouldn't, it's rotating all the time. So I say 7 for the music, maybe.
And for the voice?
The voice I thought was lovely. I won't say 10, but 9, definitely 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for the lyrics?
Yeah, the lyrics, again, they're interesting. So, I didn't quite, at that bit about the needle in your eye, etc., and things like that, I didn't quite get where he was coming from. But, good. Nice lyrics. Probably an 8.
8.
So 7, 9 and 8.
Okay,
Yes.
what's the total?
24.
24, okay. Quite
So
generous.
it's not one of the highest ranking ones, really.
No, because you got lots of them at 29, I think.
Yeah.
When you were being a bit too kind, maybe.
Yeah, and I said Bonfire Teenagers should have been a 30, really.
Yeah.
For me.
Well, hopefully one day soon we will hear that album. Come out. Well, thank you, Nanny Val. We'll say bye for now and we'll say cheers.
Okay.
Cheers.
Oh, I've dropped my phone. Now we're going to go into an analysis of the night pop drop, just me and Chris. So ciao for now, Nanny Val.
Ciao.
Cheers. So now we're going to analyse the lyrics of a song, and because it's the Makeup is a Lie special, we're going to do the night pop dropped. So the song was produced by Joe Ciccarelli.
Correct.
Is that right? Yep.
Yeah.
And it was obviously written by Morrissey and Jesse Tobias. I think for me, the song is almost like a melancholic memory of a previous time, because they're talking about when it ends, when something stops. That's kind of how I see the song. Is kind of a longing back for a previous time. How about you?
Well, yeah, because he uses the word dropped, which in some ways you could drop a new track and it's the start of something.
And that's what I first thought when I first heard the song, The Night Pop Dropped. When I first heard the title anyway, I thought it was about like dropping a new thing. But I think that if you look into the lyrics, it's more about when it finished, maybe when it came to an end. It's more like an ending, isn't it?
Yes, because you look at the first 2 lines, remembering the night pop dropped, the bars went dry and the dancers stopped. So if the bars go dry and the dancers stop, that's the end.
Yeah.
It goes on to say, remembering the night pop drop, he held us firm till the last sun warmed, how empty our lives would be if we had never known.
Yeah.
So he's kind of saying, I was there. Some people have suggested that this song might be a tribute to Iggy Pop. But he's saying, I was there, I saw pop before it dropped / ended.
Yeah.
You know, and how sad that is for us. And how empty our lives would be if we had never known. You know, because you do think like before the era of pop music, and I'm going back to like the Beatles, say, and Elvis and the rock and roll that was inspired by the black musicians. Before that, we just had classical music.
Yeah.
And everyone was sat in their little rows of seats, politely, you know, clap, or did they even clap? I don't know. But
it must have been really bad. I mean, I don't know if anyone's familiar with Desert Island Discs. Obviously, most people, especially in the UK, will be. But I've listened to a few Desert Island Discs of some really old politicians or quite, you know, people from a previous time almost. And they pick all classical songs. And obviously, there's some classical songs I really enjoy. But when you listen to someone who only picks classical songs, it's just all Beethoven or whatever else. It's like, you listen to this all the time. Like, it just feels like there's some good ones there, but like, I can get that. But also, I think that's where, you know, as much as it sounds like it's so sad for us, so sad for the universe, which I think we agree it would be if that had never happened.
yes.
Or it's sad that it ended, sorry. But it's also a bit of a sanguine song in the sense that it's appreciative that it actually happened. So it's, I think,
Ross, what is sanguine?
you know what it means.
I actually don't.
Sanguine is like happy. It's sort of, given the circumstances, you accept and you're sort of comfortable with what happened. It's not that's kind of what it is. It's like, you know, you're sort of happy given what's gone on, what consequences are. Yeah.
Yes. I'm just thinking of the root word sang would relate to blood, I think. So I'm not sure where that comes from.
You don't have to go into it too much. You don't have to try and make it sound clever. You don't know what it means, George.
I actually
don't
know.
thick.
I actually don't know what it means. I'm not sure you're correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so he has this chorus which goes, so sad for me, as you say, so sad for me, for us, so sad for the universe. Universe and us, not technically a rhyme, but pretty close. And so he verse 2, he moves on to pop rolled and raged and roared. No taboo on booze and touch, no taboo on very much. What's he saying there?
Yeah, so that I really like that line is sort of the no taboo on very much, or, you know, it's like, I guess that's talking about, I mean, you mentioned there the early days of pop, which I suppose would have been, not that we can, you know, sort of, I guess Elvis would be for in my mind, in my history would be earlier. And the way that he, you know, danced and things on stage quite sexually, but I guess then it can be much more than that if you go towards the 80s where it was, you know, that there was, I guess, no taboo there, which I guess Morrissey would have seen that through his early life. I guess we haven't as much because it's always been there, but.
Yes. And, you know, you sort of, you think, well, how healthy is that for there to be no taboo on anything, you know, like, is that really good for everyone? And yeah, you do wonder, people say we're in a state of moral decline now, and you wonder, is it because that's how it all used to be? Everyone just doing whatever they wanted, to hell with the consequences. Yes, it created good pop music, but was it good for everyone who was involved? Yeah,
but then is that like, are we going back a little bit now? I mean, you say about like, is there too much? I mean, there's a really famous quote, or a quote by Quentin Crisp, which is like, he believes the sort of the problem of society is there's too much freedom.
Right.
Like, people can just do what they want now. Whereas when he was growing up, you know, a woman wearing nail varnish was like like that was shocking. Yeah. So like, whereas now everyone does things like that. So yeah, maybe there's something in that. But I also think we're going back a little bit now. If you think about the 80s, it felt like maybe in some ways where, I don't know, it's kind of changing, isn't it? We're not, I feel like in some ways we are less, I mean, if you look at the artists in the 80s and the artists now, there was a lot more fluidity there, I would think.
And I think also, you know, so again, Morrissey says how empty our lives would be if we had never known. I think that it's not beyond Morrissey that he might be talking about himself a bit as well.
So how do you mean that?
He might be saying that how empty your lives would be if I, Morrissey, had never created all this music.
Yeah, well, we wouldn't be here, would we?
Well, exactly. We wouldn't.
Be sat watching telly.
We wouldn't be here. And, you know, a lot of Morrissey fans, I think, actually would agree with that. You know, how sad my life would be. I would say that personally. You know, I get so much joy and pleasure from listening to Morrissey's music and Smith's music that... you know, I think my life would be pretty empty. I'd probably just be I'd probably do a podcast about Lana Del Rey.
I was just going to say that. I was going to say, do you think you would have like hyper fixated on something else? and that would have been your thing, your
Yes.
stim, or whatever. Like, you know, that would have been what you do.
Yes.
I think what one line. So yeah, you mentioned some of the lines there that I really like in the song. One of the best lines, and Morrissey's really good at this in loads of songs, and this is probably one of the more direct ways of saying it in a Morrissey song. But the best thing you can do is be yourself. I think that's like a lot of Morrissey fans want that. I feel like that gives a bit of power to people, doesn't it? And you can, if Morrissey's saying that, someone that you idolize or look up to, it gives you the license to feel like that's fine, and you can take a different path and be comfortable. And I think that when I heard that live, and I think when I can't remember which show it was now, but I sort of got a handshake with Morrissey at the point he said that, and that was pretty special because I felt like he was obviously, like, you know, like we said earlier with Rob Williams, he's talking to you in that moment.
Yes.
But yeah.
The problem with being yourself, philosophically speaking, is it's actually quite a hard thing to do. Because so one of the big slogans is know thyself. But who am I?
Yeah.
And what is the essential me? How do I be myself? Because actually, I am a different person in different environments. I'm a different person here to how I am at work, about how I am with my close friends, how I am when it's just me and you know, having a drink.
Yeah.
All these different people. Also, everybody else sees you from all these different angles and all these different contexts. So when Morrissey says the best thing you can do is be yourself, well, okay, yes, you're probably right, but it's actually not that easy to do.
No, but someone like Morrissey, I feel like Morrissey, as opposed to most people, has probably suffered but also benefited from being fully himself. So he doesn't a lot of us, for example, if you have a job where you've got an employer, you really have to not be yourself at certain times, because there's a whole thing about taking yourself to work now. It's like you should feel comfortable to be yourself. Well, actually, you probably wouldn't want to take your house off to work, and you probably can't because you would be in trouble for that. But Morrissey does that, and that sometimes is a detriment to him because he loses fans along the way. Some people can't cope with that. So that, I think that's an interesting. And then, but also when Morrissey's at, I think when Morrissey's just sat at home with his family, with his close family, he must be a bit different there. Like they've known him all his life. Like he can't be this sort of like cool, you know, he has to be Morrissey family guy. Morrissey.
I've thought about this because I've occasionally seen pictures of him with his family at Christmas or something. I reckon they all take the piss out of him and like bully him in a friendly way, because it's probably the only place in the world where Morrissey, there are other people taking the mick out of him in a loving way.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no idea, but I just kind of think, I wonder.
And it seems like Morrissey, I think, being Irish as well, it's a big part of that. But I think that, or having Irish heritage, sorry, I think that he probably feels very connected to his family. So they're probably the ones that they could be a bit cheeky and they won't get banished or whatever else. And I think that's,
Just speaking musically about this song, I think we've only heard live versions so far. Obviously, it's going to be on this new album, Makeup Is a Lie. And I think it's going to sound fantastic. I think this is a very commercial single.
Yes.
Of the ones we've heard. You know, I would say this is pretty commercial. And I do think it could get on a BBC Radio 2 playlist. And I do hope it's released as a single. I think Morrissey is so unpredictable and does things in his own way that I wouldn't even put a bet on it coming
really
out, even though
I think it will come. I think this will come as a single.
Yeah.
But then we haven't heard the rest, so
yeah. But I think Jesse Tobias has done a fabulous job writing this track because it really stands out.
Definitely, yeah.
And I wonder if it is a 70s kind of sound, and that's the same era that he's singing about. Because I remember when we had Alan White on our show, he said that some of the tracks that he'd written for Morrissey's new album were like quite 70s inspired. Yeah. And I wonder if Jesse has done the same, but I'm not too familiar with the 70s scene to say that for certain. But I just think it's a catchy song. It has a point. It's very Morrissey. It fits the Morrissey image. It's catchy. Like there's a lot going for it, isn't there?
There is. And when I've been to a few of the shows where Morrissey's played this live, it's a real favourite with people in the theatre, in the building.
Yes.
In the audience, sorry. So like, yeah, that's, I know people are really get excited for this song to come on.
Yes.
So yeah, really excited to hear the studio version in the album, and hopefully as a single.
So next we are going to talk about the song that both Chris and I have on repeat different songs, but you will know as a Morrissey and Smith fan, sometimes there's a song that you just can't get out of your head. So we're going to talk about that. And for now, while I've got a tiny bit of wine left in my glass, I'll say cheers, Chris. You got nothing.
Left, yeah.
You probably shouldn't cheers with an empty
I think
glass.
that's probably my grandma would tell me that's bad luck. Let me just quickly,
It probably is bad luck.
quickly put a drop in there.
Pop in a drop.
Pop in a drop. Acid
Pop your
drop.
poo in the Louvre.
Cheers, George.
Cheers. And let's go into the song that we've got on repeat. Cheers.
Now we're going to go into the song I've got on repeat. So this is where we talk about a song that we have on repeat currently. So George, what have you currently got on repeat?
Well, I can't stop listening to the Slum Mums.
Okay,
Which
that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I've really been playing it a lot. And it was a B-side to I Have Forgiven Jesus, recorded late 2023, according to the wiki on Morrissey Solo, but released 2004. I just think I tend to do this with the more rarer tracks of Morrissey because we've played to death all the big ones.
Yeah.
So when you suddenly like remember an old song, excuse me, like the Slum Mums, I mean, it's quite dark and, you know, it's kind of dated as well because he's talking about the Labour government of the early 2000s. But it's just so kind of catchy. And I find myself singing the chorus, you know, especially we may be welfare, oh yeah, but we don't care.
It's a really good song. And it's like, the one lyric that always gets in my mind for this song is underneath the fingernails.
Yeah.
Like you can make yourself, you know, whatever you want to be, but you're never gonna sort of get away from what you are, what you always have been.
Yes.
So yeah, I think that's a really good song.
And what song do you have on repeat at the moment?
So at the moment, my song on repeat is Once I Saw the River Clean.
Ah, yes.
So I really love this song. It obviously came out in 2020. So it was sort of, to me, this is like the album and the songs and the tour was all just at the cusp of COVID. And I remember listening to this. I mean, I listen to this song a lot now. That's why I'm mentioning it. But it takes me back to sort of kind of a simple time when COVID happened and when which I was just jogging around Alexandra Park in Manchester next to where I lived because there was nothing else to do. So I got really fit. I was like jogging every day. And it reminds me of that. And obviously it was a Jesse Tobias Morrissey song. And yeah, I've got that one on repeat all the time at the moment, but it just changed from different songs.
Yes. Sometimes I just think with Morrissey, like, because like I said, we know the songs so well, you've got to like dig into the archives to really like get that buzz again. Because we've got such a tolerance to Morrissey, like a drug, you know, you need like a new thing to excite you again.
Yeah. And sometimes I do what you've done there. I go for songs that aren't because some songs on Spotify, like some of the, You're the Quarry extended version, for example, like the song you've picked, I call it sort of the sort of twin song to that, which is Teenage Dad on My Estate.
Oh yeah.
And I always go to that one as like a song that I really like because it's something I can't hear that often.
With his Jensen Interceptor, it's just a run around.
So yeah, I'd be interested to see what maybe people can write in and let us know what songs they've got currently on repeat.
Yeah. To let us know what song you've got what you're listening to all the time. Now, before we wrap up this episode of the Morrissey and Wine podcast, we should just mention our Patreon. So Patreon is a great way to support us if you like what we're doing. It's really not that expensive. It's about £4.50 a month in the UK or $5 in the US. There are various benefits that you get from joining the Patreon. So we have an archive of full-length interviews with people like Alan White and Stephen Street, all the people we've talked to on the podcast. When we have a guest, you just hear the 20-minute version. But if you subscribe to the Patreon, you can get that archive of full-length interviews, usually like double the length, basically, about 40 minutes. We have a members-only WhatsApp chat, don't we? Yes,
we do, which is really interesting. We have lots of people on there talking regularly.
Yes, well, it's a very active chat, and everyone's a really big fan of Morrissey and Smith. Everyone's lovely, and you'll be able to access that if you join the Patreon. You can choose the next song that Nanny Val reacts to. You can. What else have we got, Chris?
Well, just recently, actually, I laboured away and sent out some nice cards and badges to all of our people who have subscribed.
Yes,
and they get that. They had that last month. So yeah.
pin badges that we
Yeah.
send out about
Yeah.
once a year.
So I've got a machine and I work away making the badges.
Yes. So basically, it's a great way to support us because obviously we put this whole show out for free. We do a lot of stuff on social media. We try and keep people up to date with Morrissey news. And, there are little costs that come up along the way. So all of the money that you give us via Patreon goes into a pot and it's only spent on the podcast. No luxury sports cars or
I wish.
5-star stays.
I've tried to expense some exciting things, but George is quite strict on the old purse strings.
Chris tried to expense a foundation, a posh makeup foundation, and I said, we're not putting that from the Patreon money.
You need to look good if you're on camera, George.
And looking good costs money.
Yes, it does. It costs a lot of money to look this cheap.
So thank you very much for joining us once again for the Morrissey and Wine podcast. It's been a pleasure. It's my favourite time of the month. Have you enjoyed yourself, Chris?
I have enjoyed myself. Yeah, and just how are you finding the new setup? Do you feel comfortable now we've had an episode?
I like it. I want to take this bookcase and home with
We
all
can't.
the bits
That's against the expenses policy.
Lovely Oscar Wilde next to Morrissey. We've got
Carolina took that photo.
Did she?
Our friend Carolina took that photo from Sweden. We have Mini Moz,
yes,
as I call him, which is if you watched the podcast before, we had the full 6 foot one, but we've shrunk.
Yes. So anyway, thank you so much for joining us. Cheers, Chris.
Cheers, George.
And all I'll say is goodbye and Godspeed.
God bless Morrissey.
Ciao for now.